it's so interesting because after a while, I don't know if everybody does this, but after a while, people who make music, like who were stuck on like one genre, pretty much always start like leaning into all these different genres and trying to understand music as a whole rather than to just do their EDM thing, right?
The good thing with that though is you start using samples and techniques and stuff from different genres. So things you do for one genre, you think, oh shit, that's a cool sample or a cool technique, and then you just start using that in what you'd say your core sound is. So you learn more about how to like apply it in your main sound. Like for example, with the trap stuff, like if I hadn't have made house before, I wouldn't have mixed trap in the way I did. I would have tried to mix it like way too like this, this like festival trap stuff. I probably tried to go into it mixing it more like that. Whereas I feel like with house, you get more of this like more like technical side of it because of the way it is. Do you know what I mean? Like with the techniques that you use.
Yeah, but not only that, it's almost like when you try to, let's say when you sound design, you almost especially in like deep house and house, slap house and all these genres, you almost want to have it sound super clean and super nice right from the beginning, right from the get-go, and then you just mix it like additively. But something that I've started doing recently that I feel really creates an organic touch to it is that when I sound design, I tend to bounce it out and I screw up the audio and like make it sound really bad, and I just do everything I can to screw up the sound as much as possible.
Working with audio is so underrated in my opinion.
And then what I do is I try to make it sound way cleaner. It's kind of the punk rock mentality to it, and how they did with rock music back in or they've been using this technique since the dawn of music, pretty much. Just making something sound trashy and shit and then making it sound good afterwards.
That's actually like one of the techniques I use a lot. I really enjoy post-processing in general, and like what I usually do or often do and play around with. Obviously, it doesn't always work because it's a really experimental way of working. It's like, oh, this actually sounds cool. I might use this. And it ends up not working out, or maybe it does. And it can be like a not high risk, I guess, but like high reward thing for if you actually do it correctly. So it's like,
I would completely agree with you in the sense of like a lot of the sound design that I know that I've personally done as well has come from the post processing. Like it's something I'm learning more now, but I personally I'm not great at sound design. I would say that's one of my weaker points, but being able to take a sound and fuck it up in the post processing can really, if that works for you, if you understand how to manipulate a sound, as you're saying, like that can be a super cool thing with sound. This is why downloading so many plugins is so good as well, because even if you don't know what something does, you like happy accidents happen so much with post processing. I feel like in a way that doesn't happen as much with like normal sound design, if you get me.
So like, I mean, obviously, I'm not as good as Jesper in any way at sound designing, but like the way I find my most unique sounds coming from is like me making this kinda cool sound in some VST or synthesizer, and then afterwards going in like exporting it out and maybe even distorting the shit out of it, and then exporting it again and doing more distortion to it, or like just, I mean, fucking it up to the point where you literally can't even hear what it came from.
Yeah.
But still, it's important to have a good solid bass sound, like the sound you start off with, because I mean, it's still in the end is what's gonna be like the reason why it sounds like it does.